Who has been your man of the match for today?
I think that right back's something different. I think Aaron is brilliant. He wins.
You look emotional, mate. I'm with you. Go on, let it out.
He wins that ball so much. Brilliant.
Why are you getting emotional? Why does it upset you?
Coming to town and I'm high on the rise in the city of gold. Fighting the tide with my feelings aside when it's 2 in the night. The fire in my heart's gonna keep me alive and I'm ready.
Welcome back to Yankin My Ball. My name is Nick Miguez, joined by Christian Ertel, Will Aguilar, Luke Ayub, and Adam Ayub, as well as the most handsome guy in the Premier League, Cole Palmer. Let's see, this week we're going to be going over what happened in game week 5 in the Premier League. We're going to go over Stinker of the Week and Player of the Week as always. We're going to have a post-week 5 Premier League table update we've decided to do after every multiple of 5 this year. We're going to predict what it's going to be like in comparison to after week 10. And then we're going to predict game week 6 scores and happenings and whatnot. First game we're going to go over, first game that happened last week, Liverpool versus Wolves. It's 3-1. I predicted 3-1. Wolves opened up with a goal that was pretty much all Pedro Neto, which is pretty much all of their goals this year. He's assisted on 4 of their 5. And then Mo Salah had to come in and ruin the party with a hat trick of assists. Ended 3-1. What y'all think? Y'all think Wolves deserve anything more?
Honestly, I think they did. Pedro Neto had tons of chances. He had Wolves in that game pretty much single-handedly. Cunha was just miles off it when it came to the finish. But Neto had Gomez in his pocket. Gomez was playing because no Trent, a little hamstring issue. Also, no Virgil van Dijk serving the second game of that suspension. But, no problem for them. They definitely held off Pedro Neto. I thought it was a very good performance from Liverpool in the second half.
What do y'all think Van Dijk said to that ref to get him 2 games suspended?
Who knows?
Something nasty.
He seems like a pretty cool head dude, so he must have just let it fly.
Yeah,
I do have something to say about the Wolves team. I predicted another Hwang Hugh Chan goal, and he is now up to 3 goals. His back-to-back games with the goal. He's scored 3 goals out of the last 4 games. I mean,
what a shout!
The kid's finding the net. You know,
they
he
need
got
to just
a hell of a
stick him
header
up
on him.
top.
He's going to be special. I'm pretty sure he plays for South Korea, if I had to guess with that last name. So look for him and Sonny to make some noise in 2026 World Cup. Liverpool, all class, taking care of their opponent, getting all 3 points.
Liverpool, another game, they go down early. Tied it back up in the 55th, and then took them longer than they probably hoped for to take the lead. They do this a lot, though. They go down early. They like to give up early goals. But they came away with 3 points, and if they can keep doing that, really, if you're them, you don't want to give up that early goal, of course. But yeah, Mo Salah, he is who we think he is. He is world class, quite simply.
Nice to see Gapco get on the score sheet. Feel like he's struggled to get comfortable there.
I got one more little tidbit about that game before we move on. Neto and Salah, joint top assisters right now in the Premier League with 4 assists each. Really impressive from both of them. Let's move on to Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, though. I think Villa's really starting to find their form. Great minutes from Duran, MLS boy from Chicago Fire. The goal that he had was amazing. They had a great comeback. I think part of it probably because of Roy Hodgson being sick, so he wasn't on the touchline. So I think that might have been part of the reason that they kind of lost concentration late. But Chris Richards also got his first Premier League start of the year. Didn't look bad until he gave up the PK, but still looks solid. Can't complain about it. Kid gets a good start.
Villa's pretty class. I didn't rate him quite as highly as y'all. I had him like a and maybe an 8-10 team. Y'all all had them. I don't know about I forget what Will, but especially the two IUs had them like, and Ertel had them at least 4 through 6. But
Yeah.
they are class. They when Diaby is going, I think that's their switch flipper. He early on, he had a crazy touch to bring down a long ball and just outpaced the defense and finished it. Ended up getting called back off sides, and that's why they had to start from behind. But if they don't start from behind, this is a cakewalk game for them. They're pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with Schlerty Poos on the Crystal looking decent. I think you got that early goal, but I thought, I mean, really from the start, that Villa controlled the entire game. Look, it was like 0 fight out of the Crystal boys, which I have them rated pretty highly.
I like Crystal a lot as well.
I do as well.
I think a big part of it was Roy Hodgson being out. I think that plays a major role. Him not being on the touchline, kind of give instructions.
Perhaps, but I don't know. I just think even though, like you said, Villa gave up early. I mean, gave up that goal early and then didn't score till late. I still thought they, like Schweitzer said, were pretty damn class.
Yeah, they deserved this win. They dominated this game. They're peppering the goalie all game long. 3.21 expected goals, 67% possession, a lot more passes in the final third. Only thing I have to say for Crystal Palace, I'm gonna shout out Will Hughes, Michael Alshire lookalike, doppelganger.
I knew that was coming.
You guys right there.
We'll have to
I'll throw a
stitch
picture
that
of
one
him
in. Yeah.
Maybe a side by side.
Yes,
Side-by-side beat.
got it. We got to get that side by side.
I feel like weirdly every game I've watched, if it's always one team that's more class. Whoever it is, you can feel it from the first 20 seconds of the game, and it's never within like 45-45% possession. Whoever's more class on the day, it always feels 60+% possession. Just they have the ball in their opponent's half all game, just patiently waiting for something.
A good bit of time. I mean, sometimes it hasn't mattered this year. I mean, like the West Ham game against Chelsea, really.
Yeah.
I mean, a good bulk of Chelsea's game, they've just
really, the
completely
only team-
dominated.
That's
Well,
West Ham's whole
teams-
thing, and they're really the only ones
Yeah.
that applies to. But
I'd also throw in Liverpool in that Newcastle game. I mean, they got dominated and they came out with the points. But yeah, West Ham's done it multiple times this year.
We got anything else on that one?
A lot of stoppage time, Maybe put a limit on stoppage time. I mean, we're scoring 111th minute goals here. I mean,
yeah,
might as well just
That's-
play all day.
that's the trend of the Premier League.
I don't know if it was injuries or time wasting, but
Yeah.
Hey,
And-
let's cut it at six plus. I mean, come on.
2 years from now, we're gonna have 110-minute Premier League games with no handballs at all whatsoever at this rate.
Right. Handballs don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So the question for this one is, has Villa finally caught fire? Keep in mind, we're recording this on Thursday. They did lose to Legia Warsaw in the Europa League. So I think they lost 3-2. So a little bit of a shaky start in Europe. We'll see how that kind of bodes for them in the Premier League. But do y'all think that they've finally caught fire?
Did they have Diaby or Ali Watkins today?
Yes. No. I don't know.
I think they
I
played a
don't think
pretty
they
good
had-
team. I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know
they
if I
played a
saw
pretty
either.
good team. Let me go look.
But Premier League's different competition. I mean, they are obviously coming into a little bit more what they want to do.
Yeah, they had
compared
Leon
to
Bailey.
The start of the season for them.
You
It
know,
was
right
pretty-
there.
It was a B team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say they caught fire in the Premier League for sure with that starting group after that comeback.
Yeah, you take out that first game. Yeah, I mean they're looking really damn good.
Where are they sitting right now in the
They're
table?
sitting at 7. Looks like.
Sitting 7. Hey, that's nice. Let's move to Fulham and Luton Town though.
Ooh.
Very scrappy game.
Scrappy, another word for boring.
Iwobi debut, very boring game. Let's be honest.
4 shots on target total, 2 by each team. I mean, come on, guys. Let's get them on frame here.
Yeah. It wasn't pretty for Fulham, but I mean, you take 3 points. You take those every day of the week.
Yeah.
I think Luton has kind of looked up to it, though. I'm not going to lie. They're not making the most of the little chances and possession that they get, but they're close, man. The shots that they have, I mean, they're getting there. And I think with the games that they have coming up,
I think their defense is solid.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing a 5-back and they're packing it in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I think that they're going to get their first points here pretty soon. Definitely before week 10, in my opinion.
It looked like they had a lot more chances, period, than Fulham. It might be because I just watched the highlights on Luton's YouTube account, but it
7
looked like
shots.
Fulham just had that 7.
Yeah.
Fulham
Yeah,
had
Probably
13.
because Luton's YouTube showed all 7 of them. But
Fulham plays Crystal. I want to see how those teams match up this week.
I think
I'd like to
that's,
see.
that's easy for Crystal.
that'd be very
I
telling.
don't think it's easy. I don't rank Crystal that much higher than Fulham. That's where I'm at. But we'll get to that for predictions.
Luton did have the higher expected goals in this game.
Oh, you said
Yeah, that's
Luton.
what I thought.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at it, like say a game like Crystal, like they know going into Luton, we know we have to score
Mhm.
type of deal. Like it's a game you should win, and you should win by 2 goals. Because like you look at when they play Tottenham in the Carabao Cup. I mean, if you go in defensive minded, or at least in a bigger game mindset, I think Fulham's just as good, if not better, than Crystal.
Oh yeah, I thought Adam said Luton. I think Fulham for sure. That's
No.
pretty evenly matched.
I will say
Yeah,
my
yeah.
takeaway from that Luton Fulham game is Timothy Ream, at least according to FotMob, was the highest rated player that game.
Yeah,
Gotta get to the old man.
Him, Reem.
And I say,
Only got so many games left in them.
I don't know, man.
this guy and his Tim Ream hate. It's. I'll never understand it.
Does
Let's
he make
move
it
on.
to 2026? Does he make it to 2026?
He'll be
That's a
there.
different question.
He'll be on that
Absolutely
plane.
not.
He'll be on that plane.
Adam,
Yeah,
I thought you were
too.
big on him, Reem.
Either
Yeah, I
him
hope
or
he-
John Brooks needs to be on that plane.
Yeah, he might be on that plane next to me, headed to watch the games.
When did you start to hate Tim Reem?
I don't hate the guy, but I'd have him right there with Omar Gonzalez at this point.
Oh my gosh!
What
All
has
right.
Team Ream done that Omar hasn't?
Played damn good in the World Cup.
Hey, round of 16, man. It's a
let's-
team sport.
Let's move to the question for this game. It's the question that I have written down is, will Luton win a game this year? But I'll just set an over-under. Do y'all think that they win over/under 3.5 games?
Win?
Yes.
No.
Wins. I'm taking under.
Wins.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna say under.
Well, let's see. They still got a game against Chelsea. They got 2 against Man U. They got 2 against Newcastle. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over.
Oh my gosh. Shit, they
Two more.
They probably got
That's
2
5
against
guaranteed.
Arsenal, 2 against Brentford. Fucking.
Two more versus
Okay, well,
Burnley, but no points there.
Alrighty, let's move
Game
to
had- Yeah.
Man United versus Brighton. We tipped it to be one of the games of the week. I'm going to turn it over to one of you guys on this one first.
I spoke with our super listener, Luke Gaskin, Manchester United super fan. Here were his thoughts. They thought they looked good in the first half. He thinks Casemiro needs help in the defensive midfield. He thought Brighton was all over the field. It looked like they had 11 guys on offense and defense.
Mhm.
They were getting to every 50-50 ball. They just wanted it more. It's kind of my Ten Hag losing the locker room, but whatever.
Yeah.
And he loved the Rashford Hoyland. Is it Hoyland? Holland?
Hoyland.
Hoyland.
He thought that looked like a sexy, something promising there. It gave him a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And
Got his first goal in the Champions League this week. by the way.
he's ready to move on. He wants a new center back. We've talked about Martinez on here. But yeah. I'll let y'all talk about this
He
game.
started out the year defending the Butcher big time, and now it was only a matter of time. He's he's ready to move on from him completely now.
You listen to a couple episodes here, us bashing them, you might just start to realize.
Well,
Might start to
look,
change your mind.
before we even go any further, because this is a question I had in this game, was like, how much longer are we going to let United fans pretend that Martinez is like, because his form this season, I'm saying just his form this season is got to be in the bottom five.
He has been bad this year, but I also think that it's like, look who he's having. Lindelof's not helping him at all. McTominay was in against Brighton and he looked like shit. So I mean, like, he's not getting much help.
Guys, they're all just horrible. Okay, they're all just terrible. The whole team.
So last year was a fluke.
Yeah, I mean, you go back and look at last year, top 3, they had probably the worst goal differential in the top 8. They won a lot of close games. I mean, you could see the writing was on the wall for me. They were not going to repeat what they did last year.
There's no way they go through another 2-month span where Rashford.
Yeah, that's really why they finished top 3. Is because
Rashford was arguably the best player in the world for that span of time.
For 2 or 3 months, he really was. I was hitting those anytime goals every single game.
He's at 2 goals this year.
I believe
it might still be 1.
Is he still at 1?
Might still be 1. I think he's got 2 or 3 assists.
You're on pace, Adam.
Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure that Wang Hee-chan has 2 more goals than Marcus Rashford this year.
Dude, I will say though,
a lot of ball.
I mean, obviously the start was terrible, but like now that they're done fucking around and he's back on the left wing, he is still so dangerous. He's can tell, like whether it's creating or scoring, I just feel like everything is through him.
Him coming off that left side is so dangerous.
It's like
him and Højlund. It was more of a 2 strikers this game, right?
Right.
No.
He played. Rashford does play like a striker. Højlund completely changes United. Gaskin is completely fair to be a little bit optimistic compared to the beginning of the season. But
I think there's
if Rashford might be the only person in the Premier League more selfish than Heung-min Son. If Rashford would look for Højlund more often, Højlund could have 15 goals.
Well, he's still chasing what he did last year, I think.
Yeah. Right. He's decided that's his thing.
There's also sometimes where United looks like who they should look like.
Yeah, they had spurts in this game.
Even this game and the game yesterday, the Champions League game, like for the first 20 minutes, they were all over him kind of.
Inside the first 10 minutes for United, they had 3 really good chances. They looked extremely threatening, and then Brighton just slowed the game down, got it to their tempo, and you can't get anything from them.
Can't play full game.
We've seen it from multiple teams now. Once Brighton gets it to the pace that they want it, I mean, it's hard to play against that team.
I can see Rashford being. I think playing strikers is a whole lot different than playing center forward. I think he could play that role well if he, like Nick says, is a little more unselfish.
If they play 2 strikers, I think that he can do that. But if it's just him up there, I don't think he can't do that.
Center forward, your role is more defined. You're supposed to be more holding and back towards goal. You can be more creative with your runs at striker, which I think
so good coming off that left though. I mean, if you had him at like a left striker and he was kind of tucking down a little bit more.
I get that, but this is kind of a hybrid between those two. And like, if you don't really have a center forward, I mean, Martial's pretty ass right now. So I mean, I think this is the way forward for them.
How did y'all see their formation? By the way, I thought it was like a 4-3-1-2. Is kind of what they look like. A little bit more spread, but.
Yeah, I would agree.
I see a nice little stat I like from this game. Brighton had 10 shots, 8 on target. I love 80% conversion rate, getting them on target. That's just
very efficient. Very efficient.
Put the ball in frame, good things happen.
Yeah. That's my one note I had for Brighton, just because like there's nothing flashy about, like it's clinical and they take advantage of the opportunity. As the note I had just takes advantage of their opportunities. There's nothing. It's nothing. They're not playing brilliant or football that'll make you
calm in front of goal.
They actually took a loss today in the Europa League.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it, but I saw it.
Lost to Athens 3-2. Athens deserved it as well. It was pretty surprising. I mean, they played sort of a B team, but it definitely still pretty surprising.
You know what? Brighton probably thinks they got a good shot at a top 4 spot this year. They might.
Yeah.
Throw the cards in.
I'd have told them to save the legs. Who knows?
Yeah.
Very fair. I had a couple more points before we turn it over to Sploos for next game. But I think Scott McTominay in their game against Bayern Munich had more times slipping and busting his ass than he had progressive passes.
110%.
I think he
I
was
think
wearing
he
the wrong boots.
it could have been wearing indoor cleats. Who the fuck knows? But also I predicted this game 1-3 Brighton happened. Predicted the Fulham game 1-0 happened. Predicted Liverpool 3-1 happened. Aston Villa I predicted 2-1. It was 3-1. So pretty close.
So,
Pretty bang on so
Fucking
far.
magic.
Yeah, go ahead and
Magic.
listen to the guy in the Griezmann jersey this week. Take
Yeah,
notes.
here we go. Go on.
Make a lot of money. Retire your
Let's
family.
let's go to the question for this game. Was this game more about Man United being hurt and playing poorly, or is it more just Brighton is just a dominant force this year in the Premier League?
I think United's chemistry is fucked right now.
I think it's more United just not having the chemistry, playing poorly, and being hurt. They definitely had spurts of quality.
We already knew Brighton's a contender. We don't need to keep saying that. They are a contender. They're here to play.
Contender for top 4, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see him play City. We'll see what happens.
I can't wait to see him play City.
I think that's going to be a very good game. They beat him last year.
Who's to say they can't do it again?
Let's move to Tottenham versus Sheffield United, and we're going to turn it over to our Spurs correspondent, Mr. Sploozy.
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear me out on these games. Actually, I don't know that I have that many game notes. Like on the actual game, it was just Tottenham didn't play bad. Sheffield, 'cause we were talking during the game, and like at one point it's like they weren't when the scoreline was still 0-0, it's like they weren't, parking the bus or anything. But I would say like after the 20th minute, it was just sitting back. Like Tottenham didn't look bad. My big takeaway, well, I guess I'll go over the actual timeline of it. So Sheffield, scrappy, long throw in goal, some classic St. Louis, Jason Ortling football. And big takeaway for Tottenham, because they still look just as good, in my opinion. And I think what it shows for me is that because the normal Tottenham, that's not happening. The comeback's not happening like that. But it's just, I think that's what good teams do. And not used to that from the guys, but good teams find a way to win. Not to say
28 shots.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the big takeaway, now that I'm kind of thinking back on the game, was probably the worst officiated game of the year. I think I don't remember the exact line, but I want to say it was like 11 yellow cards. And then there was 2 instances where the ball went on the field during a corner. He plays a drop ball one time, and then he just gives Sheffield there was zero consistency, couldn't control the game, showed everyone the cheese just for the fuck of it.
I have a question for you. Perisic, torn ACL.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How does that affect the team?
dropped that today.
Painful. He's so I don't want to say he was played out of position with Conte, because he is. He's a left winger for country, and he's played it before, but he is a left wing back. But I think Conte's style was just. Anyways, you can see, he's slowed down a lot, and he less that he can do, but what he can do, he still does it.
I thought he had a great cameo in that game, right? I'm pretty sure he played.
It's been every game so far. He's literally
the
only pure crosser besides James Madison, but James Madison's never in that position. But the way, can put the ball in terms of crossing and corners, can put it wherever the hell he wants.
Do y'all have a guy that you would look at to step up to fill that role off the bench who maybe hadn't got a lot of minutes?
Yep, and I've got one name in mind, and that's Ryan Sessegnon.
Sessegnon, really?
No.
I was about to say
it didn't hit too good, because you guys may not even know who that is.
Was he playing? Was he playing left back for y'all when he played, or was he playing that more like that left attacking mid?
No, he's a left back.
Okay,
Honestly,
left back. Okay.
I don't even think he's on the roster.
Isn't Udogie left?
Yes, Ryan Sessegnon,
okay.
doesn't even belong in League
I was about
One.
to say, y'all are fine.
No. To answer your question, Showman, sorry, I just had to go on that tangent. No, not in terms of delivery off of that side, which could be painful. I don't know. I'm really curious to see Brennan Johnson look for his 10 minutes look really good, and and you guys will appreciate with my insider intel. Decky, Big Daddy Kulisexy, has been practicing on the left wing for this game to accommodate for Brennan Johnson on the right side, is the talks that I'm hearing, and the videos I've seen from training. So we'll see.
I'm going to get to my little thing in a second, but I thought that Madison impressed again. Udogi and Basuma, all three of those guys. I think if the season ended right now, they're no doubt team of the year players. I thought they've been amazing. I think they'll continue to do that as well. Perisic ACL, that's obviously terrible, but man, I thought Richarlison's back. Goal and an assist for all the shit that we've been giving this dude. Him not being mentioned right there. What a game by Richarlison! What a game!
Will, would you rather see? I assume you want Brennan Johnson to start pretty much every time if he can. Would you rather see Son, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, or Kulisexy, Son, Brennan Johnson?
The latter. I still don't. I mean, obviously, I got to see more of Brennan Johnson.
Yeah.
And you got to see more of
Richarlison doing decent.
Richarlison. Sorry, I'm blanking. Yeah, I mean, but for right now, at least say we're talking this weekend, which I know we'll get into later. I think you got to stick with Sonny up top, at least to start the game.
He's your guy.
That actually leads into the question.
There's also another I think there's also another takeaway for Sheffield. They're playing top teams tight.
Yeah,
Man City 2-1. They beat who did they beat last week?
I don't believe that they've beaten anybody.
Or they tied.
They
got their goal 2-2 or 1-1. Anyway, they're not getting blown out. They're
2-2 Bournemouth. No. 2-2 Everton.
They went up on Man City also. I don't know. Maybe they're.
Well, dude, so that's what I was saying. Like, to start the game, it wasn't parking. Like, they were playing really well. I mean,
they've by far got the best goal difference out of the three teams that came up by 4 goals. In fact, they're tied with Burnley on points with just 1, but they've definitely. I mean, for all the transfers and all the shit that was talked about them before the year, they definitely haven't looked.
It's just really tough for.
As bad.
It's tough for like them to play full 90 versus those elite teams.
Yeah,
It just
I got something to say about the Perisic injury. I don't think there's many guys in the world that really play that position anymore. So I don't think it's really replaceable. I mean, that left wing back's almost like the modern outside mid. There's not many guys playing that position, focusing on crosses, pushing up the field, and willing to track back. And then Tottenham with Richarlison scoring 7 goal scorers on the season. We talked about that in recent podcasts. So
yeah,
you don't know where it's coming from. Richarlison made that net quiver. So,
which also leads into the question that I had for this game: do you give the keys back to Richarlison after that performance? I think he deserves a chance. I think he deserves.
Who are you taking out though? I don't think you take anyone. I think there's another
Son
guy,
back to the left and take Kulisexy out.
No.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do personally. I'm not.
I don't.
Extremely
I'd
high
agree
on
with Will.
Kulisevsky.
well, I was about to say I'm staying with Kulisexy. But you guys are forgetting about Solomon, who has been like. So it'd be, in that case, it would be Sonny back to the left, and then you stick with Decky, or if you want to go Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson, that pace coming off that side.
Yeah, no. To answer your question, I think not for the North London dog.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Play it safe.
Definitely go safe for that. Definitely go safe, which we're going to get to later.
If Richarlison can keep letting it click, if he can get to a 15, 18 goal a season guy, then
that's great.
That's number one priority. But
I mean, he's not. He's never going to be Harry Kane. But if he can give you half that production, then that's fantastic. I think.
Yeah. I would have to see 3 good games in a row before I put him back in there.
All right.
That's good.
Let's move to Man City versus West Ham. Also tipped to be one of the games of the week. I thought that it was amazing goalkeeper play from both teams, especially Areola. I mean, they let 3 in, but I mean, he just at a certain point. I mean, 29 shots, 15 on target, to only concede 3. That's really not terrible. For City, Alvarez, man, world class. I
He's
keep
banging on
saying
the
it.
door.
I'm gonna.
Banging on the door.
He's tiptoeing in. I think he's tiptoeing in. He had a free kick that nearly. I mean, I don't know if it was his. I don't think it was his to win bar down, but I mean, he came so close to scoring a free kick goal. 2 assists in this game. A lovely one to Bernardo Silva. Just chipped it right over the top of the whole defense. Lovely ball.
Lifted it.
And I thought West Ham did good not to concede early in the game. Did about as well as you can do against a City team that really turned it on against them. And West Ham had Mohamed Kudus debut. I thought he did all right for the amount of minutes that he got. And James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
What a
Luke
goal.
and Adams guy.
On the score sheet again.
I mean, how good is that guy?
God.
One thing I'm gonna say about City, they go down 1-0 at half, and they did the same thing in the Champions League. And then the 46th minute they score. It's like, I mean, what is Pep saying to be a fly on that wall?
Those
What is
halftime
he saying at
talks.
halftime?
God,
Because
those
God
halftime-
bless, they come out like
It
killers.
wasn't a typical City goal either. It was just Doku just pacing.
I'm gonna get to
and
Doku, man. Whew,
pacing
boy.
and getting past a couple people and just finishing.
I did have a
Ace
question.
demon.
Would you rather have Doku or Grealish? Grealish.
You know who all us are picking. I wouldn't.
Dope.
Y'all all pick
I
Doku?
don't think we have. I don't think we have a single Grealish fan here.
I haven't seen Doku play a whole lot, so
I kind of
No,
was a Jack
yeah,
guy myself.
I'm
But,
not. I wouldn't call myself a fan, but all Jack guy. I can appreciate some good football every now and then. Got it.
I've seen Jack play some good ball. I really have. He's not
Maybe at Villa.
a lethal scorer, but I've seen him create. For some reason, people respect the fuck out of his dribble, which is
It's the same thing I don't understand it.
He doesn't even look like he can just beat you real quick if you step in at him.
No.
I don't think he would even try. I think he would just do the same thing he would if you stand off of him, which is
These guys
take a
these
couple
guys
more
must see
touches,
him.
have a drop.
Has
He's
he been
got-
hurt this year?
He's hurt right now.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say I feel like we haven't seen him. I don't think it really matters. I don't think that Jack Grealish
I
coming
think
to
he's
the team
gonna-
is going to give
I
him
think-
a ton of goals.
I think Pep's going to start him over Doku, though.
I think he is.
If Doku, listen, if he's hurt and Doku gets a good run of games, I don't see it. But yeah, I mean, they paid $100 million for him. They got to get their money's worth.
I think Jack's our guy.
I did say City would win this game, but West Ham would lead at some point. I did say 3-2 though, but gonna go ahead and shout myself out there.
What a shout! What a shout!
Y'all saw Holland he could have easily took that goal from Bernardo, but he just walked behind it for like 2 seconds, let it go in.
Smiling as big as he could.
Yeah. And then Bernardo got an assist to him at the end of the game, got him back. Classic City.
All right, let's get into the Brentford versus Newcastle game. Really interesting lineup, I thought. Dropped Joe Linton and Tonali, and we went with Anderson and Longstaff. Thought Longstaff and Barnes did really good. Finally get to see Barnes and Gordon on the left and right. I think that we should continue to do that. Maybe bring Miggy Almiron on late on the right just for a little bit of running, fresh legs. Callum Wilson got the start over Isak. I think that was the first time this year. Had the penalty goal. I thought he did pretty well. We definitely had chances in this game to get more than just the one. Guimaraes came really close in the 28th. Definitely should have been a goal. Great save. And then we had a Wilson goal called back that was a little bit sketchy in my opinion. But yeah, and Nick Pope back to normal. Good clean sheet for the back line. I thought the whole back line played great. Great to have Sven back. And Trippier is creme de la creme, world class. Absolutely commands that back line, commands the whole team. Just absolute class. And from Brentford, they switched to a 5-back for us. And I think it just shows that people aren't giving us space. We're definitely threatening if you do give us space and allow us to run. So kind of clogged it up, but we still get the 3 points, and that's all you need.
Yeah, I don't really like how Brentford played. I think they played like they were intimidated by Newcastle. I don't think there's any reason to be intimidated by Newcastle.
No reason. No
Champions
reason at
League
all.
team. Hey, great draw in Milan this week, boys.
Newcastle finally found some guys that could play more than 80 minutes. Only made 1 sub, so that's pretty cool. But we're not too. Listen, Newcastle's built on the back of slaves, and Brentford's built on the back of friendship and nice parlays. So that's about all I got, man.
Newcastle. I know Ertel loves to poke fun at Miguez and Chelsea, for goals. Counting the Champions League game, past 3 games, Newcastle has 5 total shots on goal, and they have 2 goals out of the last 3 games. It might be time to look in the mirror and realize that offense isn't clicking since that Liverpool game.
Ooh. Maybe it's because people are packing it in, like I just said.
I figured you would have an excuse for it, but
I mean, yeah, the offense hasn't been what it, I kind of thought it was going to be. That's prevalent in really all of my sports teams, Pittsburgh, LSU. But
the defense.
The defense is there. The defense is there.
Right.
The defense is always there.
Steelers, Newcastle. I think I was watching that Champions League game. Nick Pope just does things that it looks weird. Even
it really does.
He does.
He cannot. If there's a ball,
he'll throw it out the box. He'll throw it out the box with like 2 hands or something. Just weird. He does weird stuff.
He feels the need to come out of the box for balls that he really doesn't need to, and just kick them straight out of bounds and then sprint back to goal as fast as he can. He's terrible in possession of the ball, but
I'm a Newcastle
he had a
fan.
great game in Champions League, man.
I'm holding my breath every time that dude's near the ball.
Dave, you and me both, brother.
So 5 games in, Newcastle scored more goals in the first game than the rest of the games combined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they're packing in against them, but that's
they're packing it in, but it's also a little bit of a dip in form. Which we had at spurts last year. I think we had like a whole month where we didn't win a Premier League game last year.
Yeah. These have been the past 3 games since the Liverpool meltdown.
But we're gonna have spurts where, and I think I'll get into it more with the question later. I mean, we might have spurts of dips in form, especially with Champions League.
Newcastle's going to have to figure out how to score against a low block. If that's what they're going to start seeing is just a bunch of low block packing it in. That's what Chelsea's problem is now. They can't score against a low block. They can't do shit against it. So both of us going to have to figure that out.
I thought like on the attack, specifically in that Brentford game, Harvey Barnes looked really damn good. Yeah. But my takeaway I felt for Brentford, because in my opinion, obviously Newcastle had the chances. I think Brentford with the 5-back was really organized. And the goalie, in my opinion, single-handedly lost that game. One with the I don't remember exactly, but the no call, Newcastle should have had a PK anyways, and then obviously that goal.
The one that they disallowed, it was because like Callum Wilson's arm was kind of like on the goalkeeper, but I think it was because the goalkeeper hooked it under him. Yeah. So it didn't really seem like it was Callum Wilson's fault. And then honestly, the penalty that they conceded was terrible. Honestly, that's not a penalty in my book. But fucking take those, brother.
Real soft.
Every day of the week. We need those 3 points. I will take it. Take it.
Every time. Did you ask the question already?
No. So the question for this one that I had was, do y'all think that Newcastle has the depth to still get results in the Prem with CL starting? Probably going to see a lot more of the younger guys start to see a little bit different mix up at fullback. So do y'all think that they maybe have the depth to stay in that top of the table?
I think the more they put into
what table are they at the top of?
This guy.
Because I'm looking at their 12th place.
Hey, we're sitting second in the Champions League group, brother. Look us up. Google us.
Jesus.
Well, see, I was gonna say, don't believe that they're gonna have Champions League ball for all that long. So I don't know that it's gonna be massive.
I'm thinking it'll be Europa probably, but at that point, I'm just here for the whole Champions League experience. I am definitely still. I'm more worried about Premier League. I'm not expecting us to get top four again, but especially with all the Champions League. But I really want to see if the team has the depth. Now that CL ball has started, and kind of see if we're going to need to go out in January and spend a little bit more money.
I mean, I definitely think they can get 2, and I think they can advance in the Champions League.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's going to be a
They
hard.
sh- I
place
think
to
they can
play,
get-
man. This place is
think
going
they
to be a
can
hard
get-
place to play.
St. Lame's Park.
I don't know.
I think the
We'll
more
see.
focus they put into the Champions League, and depending on if they make it out of the group or not, they're not the least deep team in the Premier League. They're decent. Their depth is not bad, but it's not good enough to really, really, really focus and make a dive in the Champions League, as well as end up top 5 or 6 even in the Premier League, considering there's Man City, who are not going anywhere, and 3, maybe 4 teams that look ahead above the rest of the field.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to end up choosing one.
I think for sure it's got to be Premier
I
League.
think you have to choose the league, yeah.
Always most important. But let's
You
move
advance in
to
Champions League, though.
Chelsea versus Bournemouth. An absolute. I mean, just a shootout here. Let's turn it over to me, Giz.
Is it that time already, man?
It's
Not
that
looking
time,
forward
brother.
to it.
Hey, 14
Shootout.
shots, 6 on target. I mean,
It wasn't the
kinda
worst.
just gotta find
It was
27 shots in total.
the result is pitiful to look at. 0-0 against Bournemouth. It's saddening. I have a couple of nasty statistics I think y'all will enjoy before I get into trying to turn this into some kind of positive thing. But let's see, what was the first one? The first one, before I say the really bad one.
The one that I
First
said
one-
today.
Yeah, what was the one you said?
So the last time that Chelsea beat a team that was at the
Top
time of them
15.
playing them top 15, the Queen was still alive.
It was 600 days ago, and it was Tottenham.
Yikes.
It was like
The
the
last
end of
time
2
Chelsea
years
beat
ago.
a team that was top
the
15.
old Tottenham.
the old Tottenham.
Conte ball.
Another statistic, which is so grim, it's not even funny. I don't even know if I'd be able to laugh, even if I wasn't a Chelsea fan. Since January 1st this year, if you add up all the points that have happened in the Premier League, we are 19th, only above Everton, who has a game at hand. We're above Everton by 2 points.
That puts it more in
Nope.
perspective. Like you put,
We're the worst team in the league.
and y'all have spent
We're the second worst
so
team in the
much
league,
money. It is
considering Everton don't get a win from their game at hand.
I have another stat.
It's not good.
This is a little more. It's if you could look at it as half glass empty, half glass full. This year so far, in creating expected goals, they are 4th. In converting big chances, they're 18th.
That
So-
sums it up.
If y'all get a striker, maybe Ivan Toney. Here he's on the block.
Ivan
Maybe
Toney.
start winning games.
Ivan Toney has come out and said he grew up he sounds like a London guy. That's what his dialect is. But he's come out and say he's been a Liverpool fan his whole life. And then in the
Wow.
same interview, seconds later, he says he really wants to play for Arsenal. So I really like Ivan Toney. Got a little extra connection with him. He helped me, get from Division 10 to like Division 3 and Ultimate Team last year. He's pretty. I loved his Ultimate Team card, and but I don't know if I want somebody that's in his head deciding between Liverpool and Arsenal. We were looking at Dusan Vlahovic, the Serbian
choice.
playing for Juventus. We were looking at him big time last year. I think we held off because we didn't know how good Nicholas Jackson was going to be. He looked amazing in preseason. And then we also have that Broha guy that's almost ready to come back from injury. It's a Albanian guy.
He's ass.
Did Chelsea have a
It's
New
ass.
Jersey this week?
Mint green.
I like it. I like it. I'm a fan.
Ertel said he's a huge fan. I told Ertel, I think it's a cool looking shirt, but I don't like it as a Chelsea jersey.
Which is fair.
mint green is not a Chelsea color, but it's a cool
Still,
looking shirt.
no update on the sponsorship. All 3 deals have fell through.
Yep.
I mean, come on. I need to put something on there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm waiting to get my Enzo jersey, man.
Hey,
But
Mudrick at left wing back this game. I thought that was extremely interesting. Playing the Chilwell.
FotMob always has us doing a 5-3-2 or whatever, or a 5-2-3
There's more
or
4-back.
5-2-2-1.
Colwill left back.
But yeah, we have a left winger. He's not actually doesn't actually have left wing back responsibilities. But I mean, it's the culture and the norm of Chelsea fans is to want results now, no matter if you spend 1 million or 1 billion, and no matter what the circumstances are. But you have to think, you can't be so entitled. You have to think of it logically, and you have to not. It's self-imploding to do whatever it takes to get points right now when you just spent $1 billion on an average squad age of 21.
Mm-hmm.
So the only chance we have is putting this guy at the number 10 and letting him play every snap, every down, every rep in practice. He's the only guy that looks like he knows what it looks like.
Yeah, he's definitely up to it.
To have a good movement and a goal scoring whatever.
That's the Pep effect.
It is a Pep effect. If you can grab somebody that played for Pep recently, buy him. Like, he's just going to be better than whoever you have in that position right now. He just not like.
He's the game a little bit different. Probably.
I love Enzo. I know Enzo's probably our best player, but when we try, Enzo's a box to box guy, and we play either a center defensive mid or a number 10 most of the time. When Enzo tries to play the 10, which might be service him better than the defensive mid you'd think, but when he tries to play the 10, he gets too impatient. He wants the ball right now. He wants to be the one that gets it from the defense to our offense, so he comes back too far. And he gets it there because his passing ability is pretty good, but now we have a 3v6 attack, and we have the ball in the attacking third, but we really don't have a realistic chance of scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Cole Palmer's different. He finds a way to somehow get the ball in between the lines, maybe right in front of the defensive line, instead of coming back and getting the ball with the whole team to still go past. I think that's what Pep taught him, is to find spaces, effective spaces to receive it. Enzo's great and all. He can pass from wherever to whoever, but you have to put yourself in a better area to receive it. You'll just look like a much better player if you do that. And your team will end up having a lot more chances than it could ever otherwise. But Nicholas Jackson is, he's not what he looked like in preseason.
I saw that shot that he had. Holy. I saw a Twitter video
that goal
350 times.
Yep.
350 times. That is bad. We're going to get to him in a second, though. I had a few little points on this game. Raheem Sterling. I know y'all saw that free kick, man. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Just tasting the goal.
Centimeters. So fucking close. Would have been a beautiful goal to get the win, especially. And I'm this is a hot take right here. I might knock your socks off me, guys, but this Malo Gusto kid needs to be in the fucking team. This Malo Gusto kid is legit. He's
really good.
Legit. He's really good going forward. I think he's solid in defense. If he can play fucking left wing back, I think he needs to stay in the team, even if we'll see how. I mean, if Reece James can stay healthy, but you've got one of the best backup right backs probably in the world right now.
Yeah, I agree. We need one of the best backup right backs in the world, because you have to assume that Reece James is going to play 20% of the games each season.
Yeah, he extremely quality, I thought. And then for Bournemouth, scrappy point. real scrappy point. I think they need midfield help though. That Tyler Adams guy, we're still waiting on him. Still
he at,
waiting
man?
on him. Where's he at?
Tyler, come
Love
on,
to see
come
that
out,
guy.
come out to play,
he should be
man.
coming back soon. I think as soon as he comes back, you see a little bit of different dynamic from that midfield.
I like not risking it with him at all, though. I don't think there's no game Bournemouth is going to play where I think that's important enough to risk anything for Tyler Adams.
Yeah. Question for this game. Is it time to move off of Nicholas Jackson when the January window hits, in y'all's opinion? I'm going to say yes. I'm not saying sell him, but like you need to bring somebody in that needs to be above him.
Okay, I thought you were saying sell him, and that would be like
No, not sell him, but like what I mean move off is just like he's going to be the second choice.
I mean, the kid's still only 22, but yeah, I mean,
you could either just try and play him out of the slump.
He should get a lot better between now and December as well. So like,
hopefully,
this is just a growth period for Chelsea. I think. I don't think
they're expecting to win the league or anything.
They just need to avoid relegation.
Hopefully, they turn down those expectations and they just start playing ball.
Yeah,
get healthy.
Personally, I do not care if we get 12th or whatever. Just don't fire the coach and don't do a complete new rehaul of players. I don't.
Also, shout out Joao Felix. He's balling for Barcelona.
Yeah, he is. Barcelona's good, man.
Great lone player last year.
That was going to be my one point. Like you're talking about with the culture and everything, win now type of thing. It was not my one point, but my one fear for Chelsea is that you move on from Poch too early
and just do the same thing we just did and expect a top 4 again.
Poch needs to be in the building no matter what. Relegation battle or not, he needs to be in the building for sure.
Right. I mean, Nicholas Jackson, I mean, I don't know, dude. The best thing we could do other than Nicholas Jackson right now is Vlahovic, he's having a really good year for Juventus.
He's a great player.
But I don't think he comes in and Nicholas Jackson is not the end all, the only reason for how bad Chelsea's playing. He's not even one of the biggest reasons. He has one memeable stinker a game, and so that's easy.
That's
He's definitely not the reason they're winning.
Won a game.
He's definitely not the reason they're winning.
I mean,
yeah, he should get that one a game number down too. I agree, but
he's definitely. I mean, they need goals from him, man.
I'm saying
we saw the net move that it'd help him against Luton, but
I'm saying you let him play out this 2023. He's going to be better than he is now, and the player he is in January.
Hopefully, he plays out of his
versus Vlahovic. You're not turning the program around, going from Nicholas Jackson to Vlahovic.
Yeah. Let's move to Everton versus Arsenal though. Extremely scrappy as we predicted. I thought they kind of held off Arsenal pretty well in the first half. But they just started peppering them late, like they have been the past few games. Raya gets his first starting goal for Arsenal. He also started in the Champions League this week. 2 great performances from him, 2 clean sheets as well. Trossard, phenomenal. But you could not have saved that if he saw it 10 times. Also had a great goal in the Champions League, so he's looking to find his form. I think it's great that they kept Havertz out of the team. They finally, I guess, kind of had a reason to take him out. So I want to say Vieira might have started. He's been playing great. And then for Everton, just packed it in. Made it really, really hard for Arsenal to get any shots off, really any chances early. And honestly, I think they you could make the point that they deserved a point from this because other than Trossard's amazing shot that's pretty much unsavable, they held off Arsenal pretty well.
I think Arsenal's back. I mean, they looked so good in that Champions League game.
My goodness. Oh my Lord. 4-0 against PSV.
The finishing that game. Oh my God.
From
Saka is so good. Odegaard, unbelievable.
Martinelli.
Man.
That team, they're just, I don't know, man. I'm starting to fall in love with that ball club. Feel like I'm Luke Ayuk.
Don't do it around this guy. Don't say anything positive about him. I think they need to give Jesus a little more run. I mean, I don't know if he's still hurt or not, but
I think Ramsdale's done.
wow.
That's actually the question for this one is Ramsdale's number one spot in jeopardy? I'd say, yeah. I mean, 2 clean sheets.
2 games in a row.
I think
Pretty
it's
good
not
clean
jeopardy,
sheets, too. Yeah, I mean, but damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Considered as probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league last year. Now they're just off him. And I don't think
I don't know who told you that, but
listen,
I don't think that was
he's considered. I didn't say he's the best. He was in the conversation of one of those guys.
Mm.
I don't believe
In the league or world?
In the
league.
In the league.
I mean, probably because
Top 5 in the league, I guess.
Probably because of how good Arsenal did, and the main 95% of the people talking about the Premier League.
He's good playing out of the
English.
back. He can facilitate the ball and everything. He's not terrible, but I mean,
he
he also
probably just
hasn't
felt-
lost the game yet. I think
He
it's
probably
kind of
played
harsh to
really
take him
good
out
last year. He knew he had to play good last year with Matt Turner breathing down his neck. So when they finally brought this guy in,
You got to think this was part of Arsenal's plan. I mean, I thought it was a little bit of a head scratcher when they signed David Raya.
Yeah,
but like, why would he? For him to accept it too, like he was playing, like
he wanted the competition.
He wasn't promised playing time,
and he didn't do bad last year. They hadn't lost a game yet this year. They've only drawn one. It is a little bit of a head scratcher, but it seems like it's the right decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think they're willing to make the change is what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they're like,
Yeah, I guess
maybe.
It's surprising that they didn't split up the games. Like Ramsdale get the Champions League and Raya gets the league, because that's kind of what they did last year when they were in the Europa League with Matt, and they didn't split it up. They just went both with Raya.
I think Europa and Champions League's a big difference.
Yeah,
I mean, Ramsdale got you there.
But it was also we haven't seen the where it's I don't know.
He has had
Champions League I don't know. Actually,
he has had a few questionable goals that he gave up this year, though. So I mean, I guess I can kind of maybe see where it's coming from, but this quick, a little bit surprising, for sure. Nottingham versus Burnley. We're gonna hand it over to Bubba.
Yeah, I finally saw what I needed to see from Burnley. After about the 26th minute, they finally started getting some confidence. They just started passing. That's all. Hey, that's all I wanted to see was just some completed passes. I know that's not much to ask for, but Koleosho, I mean, he's got some pace on that left wing.
Ooh, I want that kid to be American.
I'd love to see him as an American.
Look good in red, white, and blue.
Lyle Foster, I think he's got it. I like him up top. Thought the subs, my player of the game was Mr. Berger. He's nice. He looks pretty tall out there, and he's got good movement. But I asked the question, Vincent Manuel. Man, he's actually my stinker of the week. I mean, what are we doing out there, dude? Are we not practicing hard?
Did he not play?
Oh, he didn't play. He didn't even get in the game.
Stinker of the week. He didn't even play.
They gave him the number 10 jersey. I don't know if he's just. I mean, he'll post freaking practice highlights on his Instagram. I'm like, dude. I mean,
oh my lord.
So yeah, that's a little scary. I kind of thought they could have. I think they deserved the 3 points here, though. I really do. And it sucked that it was going against Matt Turner. That was kind of tough for me, But I think I liked what I saw. And Man United at home, Turf Moor. Good luck, Gaskin.
For Forest, I thought it was interesting. They moved off of the 5-back this week after all the signings that they made, and 3 of the dudes that they signed actually started. Montiel, Sangare, who Sangare was playing center back for PSV, I believe. They moved him up to defensive mid, and he looked really, really good. And then Callum Hudson-Odoi, thought thunderbolt shot from outside the box. Beautiful, beautiful finish. I thought I thought the Forest looked really good, especially with 3 new players into the team that just got there. They haven't had much time to practice with everybody. And Origi made his debut. I think he subbed on late. He looked all right, but I that's a great player to have coming off the bench. Absolute stud for Liverpool for a number of years. I like that they switched to the 4-back too. I think it made them a little bit more attacking. I think it was Burnley just played great. I don't think that it was any lapse of form for Forest. I think Burnley just scrappy game.
Also, the Lyle Foster elbow in the 94th minute to get a red card, I'm totally fine with.
Blatant.
It happened late enough in the game. Throw that bow in them, let them know we're there. 3-game suspension, that kind of blows. But
I mean, that's just if that's
hopefully with the 3-game suspension, the Mason Manuel somehow at least gets on the maybe subs in.
That was a dirty play by Lyle right there. Just you don't want to
just a nice sell job by Forrest.
You don't want to see that in the game anytime, anywhere. But
I do.
To the question for this game, can Nottingham contend for a Europa spot after that transfer window that they just had? They brought in Origi, Sangare, Hudson-Odoi, and Montiel. World Cup winner, Montiel.
I think that's wishful thinking. I mean, I know they're actually pretty high up on the table right now, but it's been a hell of a start. But I don't.
I think they. I was the one that came up with the question. I think they can. I think they've got the same amount of quality. I'd love to see them go against like a West Ham. I think they have City next week. I think that'll be a really good game. Maybe a little Wanyi goal, but we'll see. What do y'all think though?
Can they qualify for what we said?
Europa,
which is 6th.
That conference, either one really. I think they can slip into that 7-8 spot. If it's 7, I think that they can get 7.
It's easy to say they could right now. They're in 8th, but I don't think they will.
I think the top 5 are not moving. I think the rest of it is so wide open, other than maybe Aston Villa. I don't know, dude. The
Luke,
top
also
5
keep in
plus
mind,
Aston Villa, I think have that front 6.
I was a lot higher on them, and then they sold Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, that is. So they sold Brennan Johnson, but they brought those 4 dudes in. So I mean, they are 8th. They're 8th with none of these dudes, and I think their quality for losing that one player while he is really good, they did add.
I just love the Brennan Johnson, Gibbs White, Wales connection.
Yeah,
I love that. That's a good chemistry piece right there.
Played I was gonna say a fairly easy schedule right now. I mean, you see some cupcakes on there with Man U and Chelsea, but I don't know, man. I just don't see it.
This guy will throw shots at Man U and Chelsea.
No, I don't see it at all. If you think you're getting a Europa spot and you're only taking 1 point, it's
gonna be a dog fight
at home. Get real.
It's gonna be a dog fight to get a Conference League spot this year. So
that's what, yeah. I mean, so basically, I think we're all high on the top 5, and then you got West Ham and Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean, all right, but some of those big teams might drop off, like a Man United, a Chelsea, a Newcastle. We could drop even lower.
We're predicting that none of them are going to catch up to Forest. I mean, I think that would be.
I mean, you never know. I mean, it's the Premier League, man. You just don't know.
It is the Premier League.
That we aren't arguing.
Let's go to the player of the week for game week 5. I'll start Richarlison. Straight up. He's gotten a few stinkers this year. The kid deserved it. Goal and an assist. I thought he looked great coming on. Yeah. Richie gets
get back on the pitch.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna piggyback off of that just because it's one of those circumstantial things. May have been Billers that had a better week. But mine is not actually Richarlison. It is Richarlison's therapist that he claimed he was going to be seeing when he got back from the international break. So I'm gonna give it to that guy, man. I want to shake it.
Good shout. I must have done something good.
Let me shake your hand.
If we could get a picture of that guy, let's stitch that.
He'd be behind me.
We probably can.
We'll definitely do that.
My
He
player
must
of the
have said
week
something.
was Mr. Doku. That goal he had was just all him. Got it out of his boot super fast. I've always liked him, but I didn't know how well he would fit in with the City. I think he's gonna be just
Yeah.
fine.
I'm sure it's not hard to fit in a fucking Man City's team.
Well, it's tough to crack the lineup. Ask Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips did not go on loan, by the way. He is still at City, just rotting on the bench.
Yeah.
So he's a hell of a cheerleader, though. It looks like he's very
He's
happy. So good for him.
He's probably just there so that they can meet their quota of English players.
That's the biggest dork I've ever seen in my life. But he always is starting for England. So
I was about to say, still getting the
I don't
call.
know. Yeah, so I don't know.
That shit's crazy.
The dude doesn't play and then gets called up for England. So
Southgate's on Mars, bro. He's on another planet with those selections.
The
Bro,
amount of
Henderson
times
started. What the world?
Jordan Henderson,
Yes.
Yeah.
nutso. The
Crazy.
amount of times City and Liverpool go down 1-0 early and then win 3-1 feels like every other game they play. And for City, you'd think it was like, if you would have asked me last year, why do they always do that? It always seems to be De Bruyne, but it's not De Bruyne anymore. They could do it without him. But
Rodri
for Liverpool,
controls the pace.
It's Mo Salah. Mo Salah is the answer to why they always come back. And he's my player of the week. He did it all himself, took matters into his own hands, assisted every goal. He's so good. He's inevitable at the stuff that almost nobody else can do more than 5 times a season. He does something every game that you just don't see from many other people.
Yeah, there's never going to be a game where you don't see something from Mo Salah unless he's hurt. Like there's just no
There's almost never going to be an instance where he makes a
something.
wrong decision or
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was going to say Mo Salah as well. 2 assists, goal and a half of expected assists. That's really high. He's just a professional. All the distractions have been going on this year. All the transfer rumors, comes in, does his job every single game. Player of the week.
Mhm.
Like I saw something where, it was not trustworthy, but to where Liverpool wouldn't sell him for say 200 million, which is crazy for at his age, but it makes sense, man. It really does.
He's the whole club.
Yeah, he's too valuable.
He's just the club. Like your value is just it's exponential after a little bit. If you are like what Mo Salah is to Liverpool, I think that price range isn't it's really high, but I don't think it's insane. I don't know what they do with that money.
I think he might be gone after this year. If they offer him 200 million after this year, that's you can rebuild the whole
team. A serious shout to win the league, though. What if they win the league?
That's true. If they win the league, then fuck no. He's not going.
He might retire. He might retire from club football. He might just say, "I'm gonna go out with a bang."
He's already got a great legacy.
Turn down 300 million.
He's won it all already. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's go to
World Cup.
Yeah, hadn't won a World Cup.
Okay, he's won it all at the club level.
Once he brings Egypt to World Cup, we're gonna have to bring up that GOAT talk, okay?
If they don't finish top 2 and close to first, I see him thinking that there's really no reason to wait on my bag from Saudi anymore.
Yeah.
If
they're not really contending for a title, yeah.
They finished 3rd, 4th.
Sure, he already makes plenty of money.
Yeah, it's time. They're pretty much starting to rebuild anyways. So it's just if he wants to be a part of that.
Let's get to that stinker of the week.
Stinker of the week. I've got a few here.
Always has a few.
McTominay and Lindelof. I'm gonna go easy on Martinez because these guys are probably gonna they probably got that covered. But McTominay and Lindelof, absolute dog shit. There was a play in the Champions League game against Bayern, and Lindelof was just staring at the ball go by him with his hands behind his back the whole way. And it's just like, what are you doing, dude? And then I've also got Mateus Cunha for Wolves. if that kid could just get a little bit more quality on his shots and just his movement, his final movements, Wolves would not be where they're at right now, because Pedro Neto has looked amazing. I mean, he's force feeding the kid, and he's just not he's not finishing it. So I don't know if it's putting him somewhere else or just taking him out, but I thought he had a stinker. They definitely could have and maybe should have won that game. At least gotten a point.
Mine's Onana from yesterday. Not sure what you're doing out there, bud. One of the worst goals I've ever seen given up.
It was bad. They could have drawn that game.
How does that happen?
It's just it's a tough look for the kid. I actually had him as my best. He was on my goalie. He was my goalie that I picked, and it's pretty sad now looking back on it.
Stinker of the week, very next week.
Mine was Brian and Blamo. It wasn't an atrocious performance, but we've come to expect a lot more out of this kid as a Brentford fan. Only 38 touches on the ball, which, you could point towards the game plan a little bit about that, but
it was definitely we had the bulk of the chances for sure.
I mean, they really just didn't create a whole lot of chances as a partnership, but disappointing performance. He had the least touches in the game.
Yeah. Hey, don't be too hard on him, man. That Newcastle defense is a monster.
I'm not mad. I'm just a little disappointed. That's all.
Hard to claim a monstrous defense with that. How many shots on goal, or how many shots,
brother? 2 clean sheets. 2 clean sheets. Where's your Champions League clean sheet, huh?
She's clean. My stinker of the week is going to have to go to Mark Flecken, the keeper for Brentford. Not to say, I mean, absolutely Newcastle deserved that win, but he did throw the game for his team. Yeah. So, not a whole lot on that, but he looked poor.
Do they need to look into his FanDuel account?
One can speculate that they certainly.
What do they use?
The hard pressing questions we got to ask.
I think it's like
Bet Sky Sports or something.
It's like Sky Sports.
Probably Sky Sports.
Stake.
Sky Sports.
I want to take a look at Onana as well while you're at it.
MGM stake. Yeah. Onana, I think that was just bad quality. I think he came out. He wasn't asked to speak, but he
I saw
asked
that.
if he could speak. Yeah, at the post game press, and
changed
basically
the
just
whole entire game, though.
Yeah, let United fans know that he knows that was all his fault.
Yeah,
I give it to the guy. Hats off to him. So,
the defense was also the whole back line was shitty, but like that first goal of the game, like dude, like you totally changes the game.
Here's some fucking apparently United fans are over them. I don't know where this comes from. Over the moon over Regulon. If Spurs can just get the money that they paid for him back, I am over the moon, because that guy is absolute dog water. But that's more indicative of the standards at Man United right now. You got Sergio Reguilon as your guy, so
come get him.
In the first half, he was doing almost everything.
His first tackle was a crunch, absolutely crunched some dude. He looked pretty good.
Make it happen.
I had a tough time thinking of it stinker of the week. I mean, that 09 is easy, but I don't know. I ended up giving it to Gallagher, which is harsh on the kid again. He's trying his best. He's just not a starter on what you want to be a top 4 team in the Premier League. He could be an all-star for teams just scrapping to get up. He could be a well appreciated member of a low middle block team. But instead he's being asked to do too much stuff out of his wheelhouse. And I mean, all that being said, you have to put away the chance that Mudryk put on his foot.
That was tough, man. That
you have to put that away, and then it's 1-0, and then it's not 0-0 to Bournemouth. But fucking yeah, I mean, I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Can't on that one. so he gets my stinker of the week for that. But he's all right. I don't mind him.
Wearing that armband too, man. He must have some character to him.
He was. Thiago Silva gave the armband to Reece James, then Ben Chilwell, who are both not playing games for us right now. So
No, never mind.
Conor Gallagher, next man up. Everybody else is 17 years old. So
Could
All
give
right,
it to Raheem the Dream, huh?
I would think, huh? I
That
think
must be
Gallagher's a
too
product.
early. Too early.
I think maybe Sterling's cancer, maybe. I don't know,
Sterling
man.
just found
I
his
think
love
Sterling
for
has a
football
fucking
again, so I think
attitude.
he needs to work on his love for football before he gets that captain's armband. You know,
I
he
think
needs
the
to
whole
feel that
team's
passion.
seen that video of the tackle in the box from last year. I don't think that's the captain. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, we can insert that.
We can go ahead and insert that right
We
here.
can insert that. Let's
I'll
get
give
to
it
the let's get to the Premier League table update.
I mean, I think Raheem would look good in the Burnley jersey. Okay. Moving forward.
Damn, son.
Let's get that guy to turf more. Woo, here we go. Make the call, JJ.
All righty, let's get to the Premier League table update after 5 weeks. We'll put a little graphic up just so y'all can have it for reference as well. Let's start with biggest surprise so far. Good or bad. I've got both. Obviously, bad for me. Newcastle, 5 games played, 6 points. Not really what I expected coming in, but I think we're starting to, we've got our defense back. We just need to find the offense, and I think we'll be fine. And then biggest surprise for me is West Ham in 6th. I think I had them finishing like fucking 17th, barely avoiding relegation. Yeah, an immense surprise to me this year. I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah, my bad surprise would be it's not necessarily Newcastle at 12. It's Newcastle at 12 after the first game.
Yeah.
6-1, we're like, oh man, this team. Oof. And then, Man United, Chelsea, 13-14. You kind of could have maybe saw that on the wall, but obviously I think the biggest surprise has to be Tottenham. I mean, that turnaround is absurd. That's what Chelsea's dreaming of. That's what a lot of teams are dreaming of. That quick of a turnaround. That's got to be my biggest surprise.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Willie for having Tottenham at 2, where they're at right now, in his prediction for this year.
He believed.
Great
He saw something we didn't see.
He knew what was going on in that locker room.
It wasn't just bias.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think it was biased. I thought I knew enough about what Andrew's trying to do, and obviously that shit doesn't happen very often. But give it to that's not who I think my biggest surprise. Who are we thinking? Oh, I'm gonna go with you on West Ham. I think I don't remember exactly where I had him, but I definitely had him well.
I did not see, especially after last year. I mean, last year, I guess you can just chalk it up to being in Europe play, but they're flying.
Well, in terms of stinkage, I went against my own values, I think, and I listened to outside voices, specifically Christian Ertel, on some random hype about Man United preseason. This guy was talking about him winning the league.
Injuries, man.
Because I knew it wasn't. I knew that the top 4 was a hot streak run of games. They got really lucky last season, and I had that same feeling going in, and somehow let the guy influence me. But I still think where they are now is a really big surprise.
I mean, with how they finished last year, like you just with the signings too, like bringing Hoyland in, like it's very surprising to me. That'd be another one for me. It doesn't make much sense. Injuries.
This is hard for me because I was really low on Man U and Chelsea. I can't say I was this low on them. I would have to say Newcastle right now. And I think they're going to get back up there. Again, like Adam said, especially after that first game, they looked like the guys who are going to really challenge Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. 12th is pretty low at this stage in the season.
Yep. Newcastle, Man U, Chelsea equally surprised me. Just in the sense of I thought they would be in that order right next to each other, but maybe 6, 7, and 8. I thought Newcastle might even had top 5, top 4 potential. But yeah, maybe Newcastle for that reason. But West Ham, if you asked me, I think I would have told you somewhere between 11 and 15. But 6 is nuts. I think it's a lot of luck, but it's a lot of grit as well.
Let's move to predictions of what we think the top 4 is going to look like 5 weeks from now, game week 10. I'm not changing it up too much, but I've got City in first, Spurs in second, Liverpool in third, and Brighton in fourth.
So just Brighton taking that 4 spot.
Yeah, Brighton taking.
I got just Brighton and Arsenal flipping. I like Tottenham. I believe in Tottenham. I have since Will started telling us all about this Koglu guy, Postecoglou. But I do have Liverpool and Tottenham flipping just because of their next run of 5 games. Liverpool looks like they have a little bit better of matchups. I think those two I have them locked into the top 3 to end the season, though. I think Tottenham's a step above Arsenal even, and Arsenal is starting to look good again. I think Tottenham's really good, but I do have them flip-flopping going down to 3 after week 10.
I'm gonna have Arsenal top of the table. Week 10.
Wait, who?
How many Kai Havertz stinkers of the week can they
played?
sustain?
They play Tottenham, City,
I think
Chelsea, Sheffield. So I mean,
I think weeks 8, 9, and 10 for City, Arsenal, Brighton, and United. I think they lose one of those games, and I think they tie one of those games, and I think Arsenal wins 4 out of their 5 games.
Think they just flat out beat Tottenham?
I think they win all 5.
I think Arsenal. Well, we'll get to that, but I do think they will beat Tottenham.
Woo!
And I also do think they will get at least a point off City.
Luke,
I think that team's clicking on all cylinders.
I'm gonna go. Man, this is really hard. God, I'm gonna go City, Liverpool, Spurs, Brighton.
wow.
That's my top 4. And that's really not that crazy. That's just swapping.
Taking your
or
boys
swapping-
out.
I swapped Liverpool and Tottenham.
Taking
But
your boys out.
dude, I mean, I just think Brighton is so good.
Yeah,
I think
Brighton
Arsenal
focus more on the league as well than Europa, especially after seeing them today.
I really think. I mean, I think we all agree these are top 5 teams in the league, though. So I wouldn't be surprised with anything. I would be surprised if City slipped more than. I would be surprised if they slipped out of the top spot
Definitely.
in these next 5 games.
Will?
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm looking at the table. I feel like my analysis is just going to run into next week's predictions. So I don't know that I even.
I mean, just give your top 4 just so we can look back on it.
Yeah. Let's go City. No. Yeah. Let's go City. Tottenham staying there. Brighton. West Ham.
Wow.
Good
I think West Ham beats Liverpool, and then I think they turn around and beat Newcastle.
Whoa.
Wait, so let's get. You said City, Spurs, Brighton, West Ham.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I could see West Ham losing 3 of those 5 games.
Yeah, so could I.
I'm not I'm not excited to play them by any means right now, just because of how they've looked so far. Especially beating Brighton. That's been the only thing that Brighton's really looked bad. Let's move to the questions for this game week. If Everton lose their next 3, is Sean Dyche finally going to get the boot? Their next 3 are Brentford, Luton, and Bournemouth.
To be honest, I don't really know how his badge is still working. I'm shocked that he's still there. I mean, he's played 3 loser leave town games and he's lost all 3 or he tied one of them.
A precious point.
How many toilet bowls can this guy be in?
But he's still, I mean, I think that black armband, not to bring this up, black armband, it's touching. I think that might be part of the reason he's still in there.
I think if they lose to Luton, if they lose to Luton, that's got to be it. That's got to be it. That's the easiest game you're going to play all year.
I think he gets attacked by the fans before he gets fired.
Yeah.
Physically attacked.
Dude, my question is though, I think Everett has got to be just horribly managed, like from the office. Like, it's historical, a big club, massive fan base, loyal fan. I don't know. I just don't.
Y'all know who the owner is?
I don't, and that's the thing. I mean, this is baseless claims because I really don't know. But you got to think it's like
No, they're definitely ran terribly. They spend a fuckload of money and they don't get results.
You get nobody. That's the thing. Like I don't know. Yeah, but who do you go get? You know, but I guess there's plenty of people you can go and get. But it's just my thing is I'm more just surprised that isn't more of an attractive job like for somebody.
Have Burnley played Everton yet?
No.
That's going to be huge for both teams.
Yeah, it is.
Are you saying he's gone, Meigs?
I don't see them firing him. I mean, if they were, I mean, Everton's a top 8 team all time in England. I think if you add up all the points, I think they're 6.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest clubs in England.
Yeah, but right now it's like
I think I'd give Graham Potter a call.
I'd rather GP than Dyche in a relegation battle. I'm not gonna lie.
If you get out of Dyche, you have to.
I feel like Dyche is very similar to Orgeron at LSU. If that makes any sense.
Interim specialist.
He's just a motivator.
He fits the bill for Everton.
Yeah.
Let's move to the next one. It'll be over under 3.5 points in Burnley's next 3 games. It is Man United, Newcastle, and Luton.
Good line.
Wait.
3.5. Wow.
3.5 for the next 3 games?
Yeah.
Not the next 5?
Those 5.
I'm going
Chelsea
under
and
on the next
Brentford.
3 games.
Yeah, let's do next 5.
Next 5 games is a good question.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was
Brentford added in. Give me the under.
Well,
I'll go 2
I think
points.
I think they get a point off United at home, and then I think they beat Luton, so that's 4 points right there, bud.
I think they get
tough.
3.
They play the 3 most desperate, like the 3 most underperforming teams that need a result in those 5 games.
That
and
does suck.
Luton. I don't know, man. That's tough.
They're going to get all of everybody they play.
Fuck it, I'll take the over. I'll ride with you, Bubba.
Bring Marcus Rashford to Turf Moor.
Y'all aren't sniffing a goal against us.
I can see them beating Luton and getting 1 point off of one of the rest of those 4 guys. I do like the over.
So we're going to 5 games?
5 games.
Yeah.
I'll ride with the over.
I'm taking the under, man.
If you beat
Is anybody
Luton,
riding under?
they get a point somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is nobody riding under?
I mean, all they got to do is if they step on the field versus Chelsea, they get a point because Chelsea's not scoring. As long as they start that game, they're going to get a point.
as long as they have 11 guys laced up.
We'll see how they do against Luton, who Chelsea beat 3-1 or whatever, 3-0.
Well, they play United this weekend. We're not scared of those guys. They got bigger
I
names,
mean, neither.
but
I'm so down on United and Chelsea, but God, dude, fuck, they need points.
blue collar Burnley guys are gonna get off work, hit the pints. Rashford's not gonna know what hit him. And
All right, let's
hopefully,
go to,
hopefully Vincent Manuel steps on the field. God, that would be great. Because as of right now, I've bought a dude's jersey that has probably got 5 minutes all year, so not great.
All right, let's go to number 4. Will both, neither, or either of Chelsea and United make top 7? I'll go United.
I would say definitely not Chelsea. I would definitely say United's in a better spot since they've moved Rashford to the left. But I still think they finish outside of it.
I'm gonna go neither.
Yeah, I want to say maybe United, but like they got a lot bigger problems than just like their attack. I don't know. Their midfield is in shambles. I love Christian Eriksen. He's dog water, man.
The locker room is in shambles too.
Yeah. No, the whole. I mean, no. I'm gonna go with Deuce and say neither.
Yeah, Casemiro and Leaf both looking kind of washed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Love those guys, but
Only because there's 5 teams 2 heads above the rest of the league in the top 5, and then Aston Villa maybe a little bit closer to that top 5 than everybody else. The 7 spot is just going to be West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Man United, and Chelsea. Just they all want that 7 spot. That's 5 teams, and I don't think Man United or Chelsea are the best out of those 5 teams. So I say neither, I guess.
All right. Over under 12.5 points for City in their next 5 games. Their next 5 are Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Arsenal, Brighton, and United. I'm gonna go yes.
so that's 4 wins and a draw.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over. I think they win every single one.
I already answered this question. Think they lose to Arsenal, so under.
I'm gonna go under. Yeah.
I've got a weird feel. I don't know who it is, but like, I don't know, dude. I'm obviously like recognize how fucking dominant City is, but dude, I just feel like they could. I don't know. I think they drop a game somewhere.
Easy Champions League group. Got to remember that.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters. I think they still have a. They're still going to drop a game or two.
It's just hard when every team's going to give you their best shot to get up for every game.
It's too deep, man. I just feel like the defense is too deep, and they'll find a goal. They'll find at least one goal.
Yeah. I don't know when the last time I saw Man City draw a game.
Well, they've been close a few times this year, and then they just go get whatever they want.
I think they beat Forest, Wolves, and Man United 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, going down 1-0 each game. But Arsenal and Brighton, I don't know, dude. Huh?
2-1 against Sheffield, I believe, too. They came back down 1-0.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm saying 1-1 or 2-2 draw against Forest. Matt Turner with a massive save at like the 106th.
I can see that.
Dude, for some reason I see a draw there.
I think we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. I think I might have the same thing.
Okay. Any more questions for the table?
Did everybody answer on that one?
I'll go under.
Yeah.
All right. Over under 4.5 points for Palace's next 5. Palace plays Fulham, Man United, Forest, Newcastle, and Tottenham.
Well, that's a tough 5. I'm gonna go under.
I think I'm also going to take the under. I'm high on them, but that's a tough run of games.
I'm not particularly high on them, and I think that's the toughest 5 games I can see on the upcoming slate for any team.
What was the line?
I think they get 4. It was 4.5. I think they get 4. So I'm going to go under. I think they beat Fulham or Nottingham and maybe get a draw out of United.
I'm gonna go under. I think. Well, we'll get into that later. I'm gonna go under.
3.5.
4.5.
4.5. Draw. Probably win versus Newcastle. Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
Probably win versus Newcastle. Yeah, under. You said Crystal, right? Chris Palace?
Yes.
Under. I think all those teams are way better than them, except for Fulham.
Over under 5.5 goals for Chelsea's next 5 games. I'd put the line at 4.5. Give me the under.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm
they're
gonna
ne-
go. I'm gonna go over. Dude, they've got a pretty. I mean, obviously you have Villa and Arsenal, but you'd like to say you get a little 3-goal game somewhere against.
Yeah. It's a lot of bad luck, too. Like, Gallagher has a chance in the first couple seconds. Raheem has a free kick that's centimeters from going in. There's no way the luck stays this bad consistently. Like, we're capable. Every game we've played, we could have scored realistically and should have scored 2 or 3. I don't.
But that's very fair. I just don't think it happens.
What's the line?
I can
Sorry.
see it just
5.5.
not happening too.
It's 5.5, Luke.
Who's this for?
Chelsea.
Oh, under. They can't score.
Oh, God.
I don't care who they
Yeah.
play.
5.5. Oh.
Oh, goals.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Points.
Points.
Goals.
No, goals.
Oh,
Goals.
goals.
Over under 5.5 goals for Chelsea's next 5 games.
That means they'd have to score 2 and 1. So,
They do play Burnley.
which is 0 right there.
Yeah, that's 0. I mean, I was gonna say over just because Raheem's gonna get a hat trick somewhere in there, but I don't see the hat trick happening. Yeah. Oof.
It should be the over. I'll take the over.
All righty, that'll be it for the table update. Another one of those in 5 weeks' time. But
See you then.
let's get to the game week 6 predictions. We're going to start off with Crystal Palace versus Fulham. I've got 2-0 Palace.
1-1. 1-1 here.
1-1 as well.
And my lock of the week is Fulham tie or win at -120.
Wow.
They don't give up a lot of goals. I just don't see them giving up more than 1. Think they can get 1 on Crystal. Don't see them losing.
Yeah, I don't see him. I see him winning. I'm gonna go 1-0 Fulham.
1-1.
All righty, let's go to Luton Town versus Wolves.
Hey, Benny.
Uh,
Or is he just petting?
Luton's the home team
Alex.
here. I think Luton gets their first win. 1-0. 1-0 versus Wolves.
I got 1-1 again. I think Luton gets a late equalizer.
Wow.
Crowd goes crazy. Whole neighborhood wakes up. Better not be sleeping.
Let's go 1-0 Luton. Let's do it. Let's make history.
I had
Come on,
2-1
Luke.
Wolves.
Let's ride.
You say 2-1 Wolves, Nick?
2-1 Wolves.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Wolves is such a hard one for me because I feel like, dude, they have a spurt at least within a game where they look like a promising team.
They looked really good against Liverpool, especially Neto. City versus Nottingham Forest. I've got 1-1. Big draw for Forest.
3-1 City.
I did say they were going to win all 5, but like if I was betting on it, I'd probably bet. I'd bet a draw.
I'm
Something
gonna go
about that Forest
2-2.
team.
Dose to dose. Draw.
Oh man, this is gonna hurt to say. It is. It's 4-1 City. It's a hat trick for Holland. Matty Turner's crying. Hate to see it.
I'm on the draw train, but that's the exact score I had in mind was a 4-1er. But I'm gonna go 1-1. Force gets one early, packs it in tight. City bags one, and then late save by Big Turner in the sticks.
Let's go to Brentford versus Everton. I've got 2-2.
2-0. Not sure how Everton could possibly ever score 2 goals. Especially against Brentford's pretty good defense.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Brentford. It's getting so hot in there for Sean Dyke.
Sean Dyke might not be back on the bus or flight, or I don't know how close that is. Pretty close.
They might just go to Brentford and win. They might just do it.
Brentford's in London, right?
It's in West London. Yes, mate.
Yeah, Everton's in Liverpool. That's a flight.
I'm changing mine. 2-1 Everton.
Wow.
2-1 Everton. First win of the season. I think they get on the board, man.
I'm going
just enough to keep
2-0 Brentford. Brentford's really organized in the back. I like it.
There's no way Everton scores 2 goals.
There's
no shot.
Dude,
If they're
just
gonna
watch.
win,
Just watch. You just watch.
God bless. That's.
I could definitely see this being the one game that Sean Dyche
they scored 2 goals
to keep his job, but I think 1-0 Brentford.
They scored 2 goals against Sheffield, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. And Doncaster. So
Sheffield's pretty good.
Let's go to Burnley, Man United, 3-1 Man United. Easy. Clean up shop.
Easy, huh?
Easy.
I'm gonna just go because I have the same 3-1.
Hoyland Brace.
I think they rain goals early and Burnley gets one at some point, or vice versa. But yeah, 3-1 United.
At 3-0 United.
2-2 dogfight. Yeah, I mean, you think Company wants to lose to United? You kidding me? He will find. He's gonna be up for that one. He might not even wear a hat this game. That serious.
3-1 United.
Out.
Look for Company to toss that hat backwards.
Wow.
Because he's gonna be feeling weird.
Alrighty, let's move to the game of the week by far.
It's
Arsenal
the
North
versus
London
Tottenham.
derby.
Let's start with Will's prediction first. Let's start with Will's prediction first on this one.
Weird, man. I don't have just a number, but I will say, obviously, you don't want to see the way Arsenal played today. But I will say, so Martinez is out. Martinelli's out, apparently. Which, honestly, I think Trossard's the better player.
Yeah.
But the way he plays helps our defense. He plays more in front of the line, where Martinelli's going behind and not Pedro Porro's strength. So I think that actually plays in our favor in this case. I'm going to go either 2-0 Spurs or 2-1. I know I can't give 2 scores, but that's what I got.
All right. I got it 2-2. I think that's a pretty good result at the Emirates. I went back and forth on the score on this one so many times, and I've landed on 2-2 just because of how Arsenal looked. Tottenham's going to have more rest. It's too close to call for me right now, so 2-2.
I wrote down 2-2 before I saw that Arsenal game, but fuck. I want to keep 2-2 because I believe in Tottenham hard. I'll just keep 2-2.
I'm gonna go with 3-2 Arsenal. I think Arsenal comes out early, and I think Spurs fights, and I think there's a late goal. I think
I'm gonna
Arsenal
go
goes
three-
up 2-0. Spurs ties at 2-2. 3-2 Arsenal.
I'm gonna go 3-3. A lot of goals in this game. I think it's.
I was thinking about 3-3.
I think it's gonna be a very fun game to watch.
You're gonna wanna,
That's
there's a game
popcorn.
to sit down and get your popcorn. It's this one.
Popcorn alert, no doubt.
And if Tottenham wins, wow. If they get 3 points that game,
It is.
We may have to hop on for the live broadcast.
it could be an emergency
live
pod.
jam. Live
Could
pod.
have an emergency pod.
Willie, if you want to do a live pod on Sunday morning, I will be up.
I was thinking of maybe trying to find me a pub, but at the same time, I want to actually be able to watch the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
I'll hop on with you. No doubt.
So over under on 5.5 goals is plus 730 right now. Might want to sprinkle just a little something on there.
Sprinkle dog.
6 goals, though.
You pair that with Fulham money line plus 300. Go ahead and tell your parents to start retiring. And a Burnley money line, shit. Go ahead and tell them. Pack it up. Get your vacation plans going.
Going to Maui. Brighton versus Bournemouth. I have 3-0 Brighton. Kind of slipped up a little bit today in the Europa League, but it's not gonna matter when it comes to the league. I think they handle Bournemouth.
I got 2-0 Brighton.
I got 2-0 Brighton as well.
I've got 2-0 Brighton as well.
3-1.
Brighton does like a 3-1. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. I got y'all scoring a goal, Miguez, but 2-1. 2-1 Villa.
That's what I got.
I just don't think it's time yet.
Aston Villa is so much more ready. 2 years from now, I think we can beat Aston Villa 5-1, but
yeah.
I got 2-1 Aston Villa.
3-0. Chelsea.
Wow. Didn't you say under on 5.5 goals? Oh, this is
This is the game?
Whoa.
The dream.
The dream. Oh, hold on.
And Chelsea fans will get false hope after this week, and it will all get shit upon next week.
What was that?
2-1 Villa. 2-1 Villa.
I'm gonna go 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. All right. Well, we lost Miguez for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what they.
he just stepped over. Just
for that over under 5.5 goals, they get 3 here in the next 4-0.
And then they. Where is he? Where is he? What's...
Did you go There he is. Raheem
Definitely just woke my mom up with that clap.
All right, let's move to.
He's woken you up with enough claps.
Let's move to Liverpool versus West Ham.
I can't even say that's not true.
I've got Liverpool winning 4-2 here. I just think the quality is just so much better than West Ham when it really comes down to it. So yeah, easy 4-2.
I got 2-2. No Van Dijk. I think that could play a factor here.
I think he's back.
Is he back?
Yeah, the last game was the second one, so he's back.
Washed, so.
I think it's funny that Adam calls Sean Dyche and Van Dyke. He calls them both Dyche. Even though Sean Dyche is an SH and Van Dyke is just a K.
Hey man, never been good
Calls
with
them both a hard
pronunciation.
CH.
But I'll go.
That's part of why we love them.
I'll go 2-1 actually.
2-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool.
I think I'm gonna go
3-1 Liverpool. Sorry.
Oh, my bad, Nick. I'm gonna go 2-2 draw. West Ham may go up 2-0, or they definitely score first, and then I think Mo Train comes in and figures it out. But I think it ends in a draw.
All right. All righty, and then last game of the week, Sheffield versus Newcastle. I got it 2-0 us. I think we continue the run of clean sheets. And I think hopefully the offense gets going a little bit here. Yeah. 2-0.
Yeah, I'll follow you there 2-0. I think Sheffield plays them close. I think Newcastle scores around end of the first half and also end of the game.
1-0 Chef. I think they've been playing good against top opponents. You know, get them at home. I think they score the first goal and then they just park that bitch up. And
this man is a joke.
Newcastle has not shown me much to score. So yeah, 1-0. And Erto will be sick next. He'll be the color of his shirt next week.
I want to change my Burnley Man United score to 6-0. 6-0 Man United. Fuck Burnley.
I like what Luke said about into the first half and into the second half, but then I thought about it a little more. I think the only chance Newcastle does have to score is before Sheffield gets in their low block and maybe Anthony Gordon or one of those guys gets through on a fast break.
If you give me Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, and Isak, we're scoring goals. I don't know if I'll get that, but we'll score goals anyway. It's all right.
I'm gonna go 1-0 Newcastle, but it's like everyone says, it's got to be early because it's the fucking Champions League, and we can barely even walk in the 70th minute. There's one's a lack of heart. Two, for some reason, nobody's in condition at Newcastle.
We're pressing, man. We're pressing. Yeah, there's no doubt we're pressing. I mean, it's an all league, definitely. It's just
but it was the whole team, dude. It's the Champions League. Like that was both sides, honestly. I guess
it really was both sides. It was a fucking well fought game.
Yeah, sure.
If Chef scores that first goal, just be ready to hold your breath.
Buckle up. The bus is coming.
You're going to be watching that game with one eye.
We appreciate you guys tuning back in to episode 4 of Yankin My Ball. If you like this episode, please hit that subscribe button and give us a like. It means a lot. Let us know what you think in the comments.
One last comment to Luke Gaskin. Get ready to get ball walked at Turf Moor, brother.
All right.